What's up, y'all? It's that Sports Kid here with my 2023 Fighting Texas Aggie season predictions. Gonna do sort of an in-depth review. This is my team through and through. I think I give the most information, the best information on A&M of any of the teams I've reviewed and probably will review. Last year, the predictions were bad. Did not predict what happened. We'll see if we can do it this year. And if it all goes wrong again, I'm just going to blame it on myself and say I jinxed it. Last year was bad. Last year we played like 20 freshmen. And we also were not, well, team was good. Everyone was injured. And we played too many freshmen. And I don't think Durkin really knew what he was doing at the defensive coordinator from Ole Miss, first year last year, here in College Station. I don't think he really knew what he was doing last year, at least in the beginning of the season against App State. Everyone's going to talk about App State, and I don't really care. I'm going to blame it on Durkin, though. Really, I'm going to blame it on Durkin because he was running 3 defensive linemen. You cannot run 3 D linemen when we just brought in the best recruiting class of D linemen in the whole country, the history of the world. We have one of the best defensive line rooms ever, and you run 3 D linemen. I don't understand it. Anyway, enough rambling about last season. Looking forward now. Don't look back. I'm going to say our and we a lot because I like to say very involved in the fan base. Season tickets, yay! I watched all the losses last year. Let me just keep going. The over/under for win total this upcoming year, I've seen 7.5 and I've seen 8.5. I went with 8.5 because I think I've heard more places say 8.5. Sports books say 8.5. So much returning production. We have the number 2. Second most returning production at A&M in the SEC. We were like dead last year, or close to the bottom. This year we are number 2, behind Missouri in returning production. 10 players on offense, 10 players on defense. Phenomenal. 3 Fighting Texas Ags drafted. Recruiting class, underrated. Honestly, I think it's underrated. Number 10 recruiting class in the country. Went down, and no one talked about it because the year before it had the number 1 class. Number 1 class does not mean you're going to be phenomenal. Not everyone in a number 1 class where you just take everyone is going to be great academically, or while they're not in the football field. There were so many transfers out because people got literally kicked off the team for selling drugs, for failing out of school, for getting in fights, and a lot of them are top players. And if they're going to act like that, then they shouldn't be on the team. And I think several of them have already been released or removed from the new teams they've transferred to. This year we brought in the 10th ranked class. It was very good. I think it's underrated. Number 1 player we brought in. Number 1 defensive lineman in the country. Number 2 player from Texas. And a top 15 player in the country. 5-star defensive lineman, DJ Hicks. I don't hear many people talk about him, but he is very good. He's very good. Eventually, he should get playing time this year. Our defensive line room is so stacked. I don't know how much time he's gonna get. But he will get time. He's very good. It's also Ruben Owens, a top 31st best running back in this recruiting class. Second best running back in the class, behind Texas's running back, behind the TU stinky running back, who got moved up after he committed to Texas over Ruben Owens. At one point, Owens was the best running back in the class. and he is also a top 5 player from Texas. He is probably going to be the backup this year, maybe third string. We have a lot of depth at running back this season. He could get a lot of the carries, maybe. We'll have to see. And then we did sign 11 4-stars. One of them being our punter, Tyler White, absolutely phenomenal punter. He might be better than Nick Constantino, our current punter, who I think should probably win the Reg I award. A little bit biased there. Kai Kroger was very good last season, but I think Constantino should be in the mix to win the Reg I award. He's actually going to be a junior. But Tyler White is going to be a true freshman punter. He's a 4-star, the only punter or kicker I've ever seen be a 4-star. Got bumped up to a 4-star, I think, more recently. Anyway, very good. But also 5 3-stars, one of them being Tyron York. No one talks about Tyron York because he's a 3-star. He's really good. He is shockingly good, and he is absolutely going to help out our linebacker room, which I think is not great. He's going to definitely help out there. He's not going to start. He's going to be good depth, and eventually he will start, and I'm very excited about him, and everyone I know is also excited about York. I already talked about all the returning players. Transfer portal. That's a big deal, transfer portal. We lost like a boatload of people to the portal. We lost maybe one starter. One starter, I think, to the portal. And I think he even got kicked off the team. Yeah. Went to Ole Miss. I think he got kicked off the team there. 5-star receiver. Forgot his name already. That's how much I care. 26th best transfer class. 3 4-stars, 10 3-stars, and a lot of walk-ons. Number 1 player that we brought in is going to be Tony Grimes. He was a 5-star recruit out of high school, went to North Carolina. He's going to be a senior this year, graduated from high school a year early. He might have an extra year for his COVID year, so he could come back. He's going to be a day 1 starter, Tony Grimes, transferring from UNC. And we also brought in Sam McCall, who's going to be a sophomore, 4-star high school recruit, 4-star transfer, coming out of Florida State, also plays cornerback. Going to be a backup this year, I think. Should be good depth, and eventually he will start. I'll talk about the other cornerback, Josh DeBerry, real quick. 3-star out of high school, 4-star transfer from Boston College, completely stacked cornerback transfer class. DeBerry is going to be a backup. I didn't check what year he's in. He'll be a backup for now. Might get playing time if someone gets hurt. Good depth though. Good depth. Linebacker room, I'm so worried about. If one guy goes down, we have like no one behind him. We have Ed Cooper, Chris Russell, and Bryce Anderson. Those are our linebackers. I'm really concerned. I am glad, though, that we did bring in Geronte Davis. He is a 3-star linebacker transfer from Jackson State. They were pretty good last year. I watched some of his highlights. He's pretty good. I'm glad we have him at depth. I think he's a senior. He might be a senior or a junior. Glad we brought him in. Then, finally, Jordan Anthony. No one talks about Jordan Anthony because he didn't play at all. He was a 4-star high school recruit. Stands at 5'9", 160 pounds. Plays receiver. We need receiver depth. Kentucky was his previous school. He is going to be a sophomore. Went to Kentucky first year, true freshman. A&M at a going to A&M. He's a sophomore now. He has insane speed. I think he set like Kentucky. I don't know where he's from. Set his state records or something for track. Ran like a 6-second 100-yard, 6-second 60-yard dash. It was really fast. Kid is lightning. I don't know if he's going to be He's not going to be a starter. He will be good depth, and eventually he'll probably be a starter. Probably needs to work on his catching. Speed's there, though. Personal ratings for the Aggies, I'm going to give him an 8.5 on offense. I'm a little bit worried about receiver depth. I'm glad we brought Anthony in. We might have brought one other. We did. Brought one other receiver in through the transfer portal from Grand Valley State. He might be a walk-on or preferred walk-on. Just a little bit concerned about receiver depth. And we had, time of recording this, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, we had one of our backups just leave the team. It was really strange. We don't have a lot of depth behind our top receivers. If we did, I'd give us a 9. Defense. Everything's great except linebacker. I'd actually probably give us a 9 on defense as well if it weren't for linebacker depth. Defensive line, phenomenal. Linebackers, supposed to be good. Supposed to be good according to some sources. But there's no depth. There's no depth. Defensive backs I feel really good about. Brought in a lot of good guys. Could probably put it at a 9 if we had good linebacker depth. Anyway, that was a long time of just rambling about the offseason. Very important, though. Very important. I'm pretty happy with the offseason. Yeah. Here's the schedule. I'm giving us an A for a schedule difficulty. We have Miami on the road, out of conference. LSU, Tennessee on the road, as well as Ole Miss. Pretty tough schedule. Of course, the SEC West is the most difficult division in all of college football. We start out with New Mexico. Could be a big win. Well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to say we're favored. We're going to be favored by a lot in this game, and I think we should be. Against New Mexico. They are one of the worst teams in the Mountain West Conference, if not the worst. And just needed a early season victory is what the front office was thinking when scheduling that. Now we have Miami on the road. Miami beat them last year. It was a really good game last year. Thank goodness if we played Haynes King, we would have lost. But our backup, Max Johnson, is going to be phenomenal. Or he played phenomenally. He was really good that game. He was really good the whole season until he got his thumb broken. Anyway, on the road at Miami, last year we won at home. I'll be at this game. I got a gut feeling. It's not a good gut feeling. Not a good gut feeling. I'm gonna say we're probably favored in this game, but not sure. Not too sure. Could probably go in the toss-up category. Got a bad gut feeling right now. Next is Louisiana Monroe. Should be completely favored in this one by a ton, and as we should, because ULM is one of the worst teams in the Sun Belt Conference. Next up is Auburn. Auburn is a little bit scary with Hugh Freeze. I don't think it's too big of a deal. Auburn is definitely scary with Hugh Freeze, though. First year there, I'm not sure if they're going to be great. It might go to a bowl game. I think we're definitely favored at home in this game, though. Then in the next week versus Arkansas in Arlington. Golly, I hate Arkansas. Last year we won off the handoff, top 10 play of the whole season. Not even like a biased opinion. That was just definitively a top 10 play of the whole college football season. The handoff for a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Phenomenal. On the road, sort of in Arlington. I think we're listed as the road team. I think we're favored in this one too. I think we should be favored in all of our first 5 games. Arkansas, I don't feel great about Arkansas. I don't think they're going to be anything super special. Maybe 7 wins, I guess. Nothing too crazy for Arkansas. They do bring back their, who is it? KJ Jefferson. They do bring him back. Not super worried. We should be favored, though. Bama. Bama's the next game. I have seen several people say that they think A&M is going to beat Bama because we're the best team on Bama's schedule. I would like to agree with those people, but I don't really want to. I don't know. It's Bama. I mean, they might have issues or something. I don't totally see it. I think Bama will absolutely be favored going into College Station. Should be favored. I'll be there. If it happens again, it happens again, and then it might be a rivalry. I don't know. Should have done it last year. So I could make a whole video about why we should have won last year, but I won't. Not right now. I won't talk about it. Next is Tennessee. Tennessee. This is going to be a very interesting game. I think on paper, both of these teams are at a very similar level. I think going into Knoxville, Tennessee is favored on the road for us, and the Volunteers are coming off of a bye week. I don't have a great feeling about this game either. I don't have a great feeling. Tennessee is probably the second best team in the SEC East right now, and they might deserve that spot. It should be a great game. Hope to win, but I think the Volunteers are going to be favored. Next is good old South Carolina. Did you know we have a trophy with South Carolina? It's very strange. I think it's kept at the Alamo until last year, when we're not going to talk about last year anymore. It's a home game. We have had an insanely long winning streak against South Carolina. Had, past tense. And we typically win by a lot. We're usually favored by a lot too, and I think we'll be favored by a lot in this game. And I don't see South Carolina being as good as they were last year. So, yeah, we should be favored in this game. Next is Ole Miss. I hate this. I hate Ole Miss. I hate them. It's a road game. We're playing them in Oxford. Golly, I hate Ole Miss. It's a road game. I don't feel good about it. Depending on how we've done in the season so far, my opinion might change. But I don't feel great about heading to Ole Miss. This team is really good on offense. As long as we don't have any insane injuries on our defense, I think it should be close. If Bobby Petrino can go in, he can come in here, and if he can be a good offensive coordinator and Jimbo doesn't take over and our offense is really good, then I think we beat Ole Miss. If our offense is really good, it doesn't matter if Petrino helps, then fantastic. If he doesn't and they're still great, fantastic. No matter what, if they're good. And I don't think Ole Miss's defense is anything to write home about. On the road, though, it's tough. I think we should be favored. It's tough, though. Toss up. Mississippi State is the next game on the schedule. I'm going to say it's a close win. close-ish win. Miss State, not fantastic this season. They do have a streak, a winning streak over us right now. Good old Miss State. Back-to-back years. Golly, dreadful, dreadful. I think we should be favored in this game as well. On paper, at least. As of right now, I think the Aggies are favored against the Bulldogs in this game. Miss State, a lot of changes happening at Miss State. They 8 returning starters on offense, but only 4 on defense. Another game, I think, if our offense is really good, if we can score 35 points a game, I think we go in there and we beat Miss State. Or go in there. Go to Kyle Field. It's a home game. We beat Miss State if the offense is good. 2 more games on the season. We have Abilene Christian, their FCS. That should be a blowout. Just a schedule filler. Take your money, take your loss. Finally, we have LSU. LSU. Jimbo Fisher has not beat LSU on the road in Death Valley since he showed up. We have not lost at home since Jimbo Fisher showed up. I would like to break that streak. I don't think we're going to be favored against LSU. I think LSU will be the favored team. Will be a dog in that game. And rivalries are different. They're different. They really are. If LSU's offense is really good, I don't know if that quite matters. Harold Perkins is scary. I hope he gets syphilis. Harold Perkins. Man, it's tough. I don't think we're gonna be favored in this game. Very difficult to play at Death Valley. Very difficult. Our projected record, more than it was last year. We have a very tough schedule. We have 3 toss-up games all on the road. Tennessee, Ole Miss, LSU. And we also have Bama as a toss-up. 3 games we should obviously win. New Mexico, ULM, ACU. But then Miami's a little bit scary. They might be able to go in that toss-up category. Keep them in the close win, though. I think it's okay. Miami, Auburn, Arkansas, USC, a.k.a. South Carolina, and Mississippi State. I think we're going to be favored in all those games. Then, it's tough. It's tough. It's difficult to play at Ole Miss. Yeah. I don't know. If our offense is really good, then I think we have a good season. Really good season. If Bobby Petrino if he actually is able to call plays and Jimbo does not just do it all himself, then yeah. If the offense is good, I think the team will be good. The defense is there. That's that. Thank you so much for watching. Let me leave a comment down below. What do you think about this fighting Texas Aggie team? I'm so glad we brought Anais back. I didn't mention it, but we have great running back depth. We have great quarterback depth. Receiver depth isn't quite there. Tight end depth, so much of that. Offensive line, I feel pretty confident about. 91 career starts combined. D-line, I like. Linebacker, just scared about a little bit scared about starters. Not super confident, but definitely scared about linebacker depth. And then defensive backs, I think we're solid. Special teams, I don't quite know about Randy Bond at kicker. Not too happy about Randy Bond. But, get what we get. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. And until the next one, peace.